Hello, welcome back to episode 7 of my Pokemon Fire Red randomizer nuzlocke. I've got a confession to make. I attempted to remove the save file for my game so that way I can play it by myself off screen, off recording, every so often in between making these videos. Unfortunately, I ended up messing up something and it caused my save file to corrupt. I attempted to fix it and resolve the issue, however, the game would not allow me to go ahead and put the randomized Pokemon back into the routes that the Pokemon had come from, where I caught them at. So the first attempt at my nuzlocke is essentially lost. That is a spell of bad news because I was doing well, I was getting far into the game. But this gives us an opportunity to start over again. To start with fresh eyes and to start with a whole new team of Pokemon. I would like to attempt to do this again, and that is why I am going to call this Pokemon Nuzlocke Attempt Number 2. This should have happened a while ago, considering that if a Pokemon trainer's team faints, that is the end of the Nuzlocke at that moment, and you are starting over. So this will be attempt number 2 of the Pokemon Fire Red randomizer Nuzlocke. I've been having a lot of fun playing this game, and I do look forward to seeing what this game produces again this time. So I just want to go over for the 7th episode what the rules of my Nuzlocke are. I have added 2 new rules into this run and hope to make it a little bit harder on myself. This will probably increase the number of my Nuzlocke runs exponentially, but we will see how this goes. So the rulings that I have for my Nuzlocke will be: there we go. Sorry about that. Pokemon Fire Red Randomizer Attempt Number 2. The rules are: the Nuzlocke begins officially when I get the Pokedex, so after I deliver Professor Oak's parcel back to him. I can only attempt to catch the first encounter of each route, and if I fail, I cannot attempt to catch another Pokemon. I cannot catch any duplicate Pokemon. If I have a Pokemon already on my team or in the box that I have caught before, I cannot catch this one. New rule is all Pokemon will have nicknames. They won't go by the names that they are. From what I understand in Nuzlocke rulings is that you get more attached to them when they have names, and I agree with that sentiment, so we're going to be doing that. If a Pokemon in my party faints, I may not revive them. Instead, they are boxed permanently. I know normal Nuzlocke rules means that you release the Pokemon. I doubt that I'm going to get a team of 6 regularly, so I plan on just boxing the Pokemon, so that way if we do complete the Nuzlocke rules, we can go over the Pokemon that we have captured and have been on our teams. The last rule I'm adding myself, and this is going to essentially make it hard mode for me, is I cannot swap my Pokemon out in battle. The only way that I can bring out a new Pokemon when I'm in battle is if that Pokemon faints. This makes it a whole lot harder for me, but I will continue to be using the EXP share for this run, and maybe in attempt number 3 that will be turned off. So we're going to go ahead and get started again. Welcome to the first time viewers to episode 7, attempt number 2 of my Pokemon Fire Nuzlocke. This, of course, is a Fire Red randomizer emulator that I found on the computer. Like I said, my last one, the last file, was corrupted because I attempted to move the save file out of the game in attempts of trying to create a second save file. It did not allow me to do it. So we're starting over again. This is Professor Oak. Hello there. Glad to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People affectionately refer to me as the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited far and wide by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets. Others use them for battling. As for myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. But first, tell me a little bit about yourself. Now tell me, are you a boy or are you a girl? I'm picking boy. Let's begin with your name. What is it? I am going to consider, well, pretty much sticking with D.o.n.k. Wait, so your name is D.o.n.k? Yes. And this is my grandson. He has been your rival since both were babies. What was his name now? I do not know why. I don't know the story behind it. I just like using the name Kaz. Was his name Kaz? Yes, that's right. I remember now. His name was Kaz. D.o.n.k. Your very own Pokemon legend is about to unfold. The world of dreams and adventures of Pokemon. Let's go. Would you like Pokemon to be random? Yes. Pokemon are randomized. Would you like Pokemon's learn sets to be random? No. Would you like your Pokemon's abilities to be random? No. Would you like to be able to Dynamax important battles? No. Would you like to start with EXP share? Yes. I obtain my XP share. Like I said, even though I love Pokemon, I don't understand EVs and power-ups and a lot of the background stuff. I need the XP share for Clutch. So I do apologize about that for now if you guys are unhappy with that. Maybe my next run I won't be selecting it. It all depends on how far we get into this. Attempt number 2. Of course, we can't go into the tall grass, but we gotta trigger the conversation. Oak's going to drive us to his lab, and we will see what the 3 starting randomized Pokemon will be. Who is going to be our starter for this? I highly doubt we're going to get Arceus a second time. Of course, I'm just skipping over a lot of this conversation. Kaz, of course, will get the Pokemon that we don't take. Alright, or Coco, I believe its name is. Meltan. I believe this is the sword one, isn't it? So, Ghost type, I believe. Steel type. And Steel type. Of course, I'm going to go with the Legendary. I know typo for that. Zacian was its name. I gotta give it a new name. I believe this is the sword one, but I don't want to be mistaken. I don't want to call it sword or anything along that line, just in case it is the shield Pokemon. I can't remember between the two. I have played through Sword and Shield before. But I think in terms of nicknaming, Wolf. If you guys do have any suggestions on nicknames, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will happily look over them. I try my best to read all my comments, and if it comes along, I will happily use one of your nicknames as long as it's appropriate. So it looks like I'm getting Zacian, and Kaz took Meltan. We'll do our first battle. I believe I have the advantage on this one, but it all comes down to what kind of movesets we have. Of course, it's just still the tutorial. It teaches you how to play. Been playing for... There you go. Here's the sword. Okay. Bite, quick attack, metal claw, or howl. This was a fairly easy fight. Decent amount of experience we got for that. Alright, our goal for today's episode is to get to Brock's gym. Depending on how long this recording is, we will see about versing on this episode, or maybe doing the next. But we now look, Zacian is a fairy type, not steel type. I was wrong about that. Okay. Interpret sword. Ups attack on entry. He is a quiet nature. Bite. Howl. The user howls and raises the spirit and boost of its attack stat. Quick attack. And metal claw. The foe is attacked with steel claws. And maybe also raise the user's attack. It looks like ours wolf will be a physical attacker. Okay. When I played Pokemon, I did Pokemon Shield was the version that I played. So I never had a Zacian before. I had the other one. Scyther. That'd be a good Pokemon to have on our team. This, of course, doesn't count yet for our Nuzlocke just yet, until we get the Pokedex and get Pokeballs. Swinub. Between the two, personally, I would choose the Scyther. I like Scyther as a Pokemon, and I've always thought that he was one of the neater bug types that are out there. I know Swinub can give us some unique typings with ice and stuff, but not a big fan of his design. Alright, made it to Viridian. I know we really don't need it, but I'm just going to heal up real quick. We're going to go get the parcel from the mart, bring it back to Professor Oak, and our Nuzlocke will officially begin. Alright, let's bring it back to Oak. I'm just avoiding the tall grass for the moment. Alright. Go talk to Oak, get our Pokedex. Go talk to Kaz's sister, get the town map. I have 5 Pokeballs. course, he gives us the hint, hey, I'm not going to let you, my sister, give you the town map, but of course we're going to go get it anyway. There we go. And our Nuzlocke officially begins. Let's see what Pokemon we have a chance to add to our team. Personally, I do hope for the Scyther. But if we do get the Swinub, it'll be the Swinub. Gotta be careful now because we know that we can two-shot it. Hopefully that wasn't enough to one-shot it now. I'm just going to use a quick attack. Very close. Okay. I know it's not helpful, but the down B still makes me feel better, so I still manage to keep finding myself doing that. But we have Swinub. We need to give a nickname to our Swinub. I don't know if I'm spelling it right, but I'm calling our Swinub Truffles. Truffles. Let's take a look at our new Pokemon. I know he's hurting, so I'm not going to put him in the front just yet. He's got a sassy nature, and he appears to be holding an Aspire barrier. Ice ground type. Oblivious prevents attraction. Okay. Tackle. And Odor Sleuth. Okay. I'm going to keep him in my back pocket for the moment. Allow our wolf to do the heavy lifting for the next couple of routes. Of course, that new rule that I put on myself that I can't swap Pokemon in battle is going to really hurt. Alright, we're now at the point of one-shotting these weaker Pokemon, which will be good for the experience. I did turn on my EXP share, right? Oh, now I just turned it off. Okay. Heal up. Now we gotta go talk to the man that's now gotten his coffee and is now awake. He's going to show us how to catch Pokemon. Of course, I'm hoping that everybody already knows how to catch a Pokemon. You just saw me catch a Swinub. And then we are going to enter the Viridian Forest for our next chance at a catch. Let's see, Potion, Antidote, Paralyze Heal. Get up to 15. I know I don't need a lot of Pokeballs. I like going overboard though, because if we miss our chance at catching a Pokemon on a route because I ran out of Pokeballs, that would suck. Alright, old man. This also does give us a hint as to what Pokemon's going to be on the route. Dodrio. Level 5 fully evolved Pokemon. Full health, and he caught it with a single Pokeball. Okay. Just very quick. I'm going to look at my town map just to make certain. Alright, that is Route 1. That is Route 2. Viridian Forest is part of Route 2. Alright. I think I made the mistake before where I had the opportunity to catch Pokemon on the outside and then in Viridian Forest, but if it counts it as one route, I'm going to avoid the tall grass, and our first encounter is here in the Viridian Forest. Now, there is no rules against me going back to the previous route to heal up, but I am going to try to continue to avoid grinding. I will go against the trainers that I do feel confident against. But I'm pretty much going to try to avoid a coffee. Eternatus was very helpful with poisoning Pokemon later. Okay, I do not want to knock out the coffee in one shot. He is half my levels. I think I'll do a quick attack. Okay. We don't have any antidotes. And we lost our encounter for this one. Alright, we do need to get back to the Pokemon Center. I do not want to lose Wolf this early. Just to poison. Alright, he's down to 20 now. $16. Just gotta make it to the Pokemon Center. Alright, he's down to 22. We can make it. Fortunately, we have to go fight some trainers now to make some money. We definitely need to go get some antidotes, especially knowing that there's coughing in the Viridian Forest. The trainers are going to have coughing, and we do not want to lose him to our poisoning. Yeah, we do not have enough money for antidotes right now. Seeing as how we can't catch any more Pokemon in that route, we don't need all those Pokeballs. We should be able to get more Pokeballs, so after we get through the area. We do not know what kind of Pokemon Brock's going to have. He won't have his usual Geodude and Onix. So we want as many Pokemon as we can. It's going to be very difficult to try to beat him with Zacian, or sorry, Wolf and Truffles. So let's try to get through the Viridian Forest. can never remember what his ranger's sight is. If we go up through this grass here, we know that we avoid a trainer. He's got 2. Dodrio. Okay, that's 3 points. There we go. Good puppy. Okay. Mud Sport, that'll be useful. I cannot swap anymore. Ugh, that really hurts. The fact that he's poisoned and I am fairy type, he definitely has a type advantage on me. Alright, we gotta make this fast then. We may end up relying on truffles more than I realize. There you go. Good dog. Alright, now that we're not in battle, we can do the swap. I am definitely going to use one of the antidotes. And one of the potions that we got. We got a little bit of money. Oh, I did not mean to hit that twice. So we'll be able to go back and buy some more later. But I'm going to have to rely on truffles for a little bit. Really hope he's strong enough now to handle battles. I forget what Mud Sport does, though. Weakens electric type attacks while the user is in battle. Alright, so that wasn't the one that I thought it was. Aw, we could have got an Aaron. Now I'm disappointed that we missed out on the first encounter. We need some critical hits, or else we're about to lose truffles. Alright, I'm going to try to flee. Fortunately, I don't think I have a choice in the matter. Truffles is not strong enough yet. Can't risk losing him just yet. Just gotta be careful against the Pokemon we fight. Got a second antidote, that's good. Another Aaron. Truffles, I need you to learn another move other than tackle. Alright, we gotta fight this trainer. 3 Pokemon. A Delphox. Was not expecting that in Viridian Forest. Alright. Bite will be super effective because of its psychic typing. That's good. That's definitely going to be useful. There's coughing. We're not allowed to swap, so let's see if we cannot beat him quickly. Good hit. Alright, good. We're not poisoned. And Delphox will be able to win with another bite. I really do have a feeling that Wolf is probably going to carry us through this Nuzlocke. I just pray that when we do get the block, he doesn't have a poison typing Pokemon against us then. Powder Snow. Let's see what that one does. Blast the foe with a snowy gust. It may cause freezing. Alright, so I'm not going to hold my breath on it, but at least it's another damaging attack. If I'm not mistaken, he is not going to be a special attacker. Brock is certainly going to have a level advantage on us, so I don't think we're going to fight him this episode. I might spend a little bit of time in Viridian Forest doing some damage after we get out and heal up first. Alright, Dodrio. Oh, that's not good. There we go. Wolf really did carry us through that forest. Could have swore there was an item here. Maybe I misjudged. Oh, I forgot to heal up. Alright, we'll be fine. After this battle, I'll be able to use the potion again. Truffles is a level 9, that's good. Before I take another step, use one of our potions. Try to get out of here. Okay. But we have determined that Viridian Forest is part of Route 2. So we do not get another encounter. And I believe we cannot leave this town until after we beat Brock. So that means then that we have to defeat Brock with our 2 Pokemon. Wolf and Truffles. I'm simply going to swap. We are going to go into the mart, see what we can buy, and then go back into the Viridian Forest for the rest of this episode. And then next episode, we will fight Brock. Alright, Antidotes, I feel like it's going to be our best friend. I'm not too worried about Truffles getting poisoned. I believe the ground typing does make him immune to it, if I'm not mistaken. Right, I would very much like it if Truffles was at least level 10. There you go. Wolf got up to 11. Trying to learn Slash. Slash would be a great move to have. We've got to figure out which kind of move we want to get rid of. Want to keep Metal Claw, because the Steel typing move would always be useful. Quick Attack gives me priority. Howl boosts the attack. And Bite is a good Dark type move to have. Especially if I ever have to come against a Ghost type. I think I'm going to get rid of Howl for now. It's another Swinub. This, of course, would be the point where if we did have the capabilities of catching a Pokemon on this route, would not be able to get the Swinub because we already have a Swinub. Of course, Truffles is better than that Swinub anyway, so I'm not worried. Alright, let's go back into the forest. I believe there's some more trainers in there that we can go after if we want. I thought there was an item in front of him. Alright, it's a coffee, and we're going to find out now then if Truffles can get poisoned or not. I guess not. Yeah, I guess it's gone. It's a shame I don't have my running shoes just yet. That's not until after we beat Brock. Otherwise, we'd be flying through this. Yeah, I thought so. Truffles is resistant to poison type. There's a Dodrio. I wish Truffles had a bigger HP pool. Okay. There's a trainer up this way, isn't there? There. We'll fight him, go to the Pokemon Center, and it'll probably be the episode for today. Alright, so Truffles can be poisoned. He's just resistant to it. I cannot swap. Yeah, at first I wanted to use the antidote this turn. But unfortunately, that means he's probably just going to turn around and poison me back. We're going to have to use our last potion. Come on, Truffles, we need you to live. Good. Got a boost in HP and speed. Alright, I'm going to use an antidote. There we go. Alright, I don't know why I was doing that. Okay, and then I'm going to swap. I'm going to put Wolf in front for the moment just to get us out of the forest. Not too worried about the Dodrios, it's the Coughings that I'm afraid of. It's the poison type. It's going to be our problem. have any more potions, but it looks like I'll have to use another antidote. I only got one left, so I really hope I can get out of the forest before I have to use it. So close. Okay, I think this is where we will end the episode. I do thank you all for taking the time to watch through and join me for this. I do apologize once again for ruining the last nuzlocke. That was completely user error on my part, and I do apologize for that. So I do look forward to seeing what this attempt number 2 will do. Like I said before, if you guys have any suggestions for any names, for any nicknames for any Pokemon, feel free to put them in the comment section. I look forward to seeing and reading through all of them. But I shall see you all for the next time when we go to fight Brock.